Okay, today we're looking at what I call as your Lordship pleases. And we start with the song. In my own Lord, be glorified. Be glorified. In my own Lord, be glorified. Always. Of course, I'm sure this is a phrase that you will have come across, particularly in court drama, when the attorneys will have, been able to try to sway the judge, and eventually he or she takes a decision, then they say, as your Lordship pleases. But this is also something very close to what happens in marriage. That's why we started with that song, "The Lord be glorified in my home and in my marriage." Because the scriptures actually talk about submission by wives. I know we live in a world where even after you've taken those vows, feminism, humanism, and women empowerment can actually become a problem. But let's look at scripture. First Peter chapter 3, verse 6. As Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you are, if you do good and are not afraid with any terror. So in other words, Sarah is given as an example that the way she related to Abraham is the way Christian wives should relate to their husbands, that she called him Lord. That's why I titled this as your Lordship pleases. And let's actually go to the scripture that talks about this, so that you just don't think that Peter was just writing this epistle without a context. Genesis chapter 18, verse 12. Don't forget, God had come to visit and was saying that Sarah will have a child, and this looked impossible based on looking at the natural context. Verse 12, Genesis 18. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I'm waxed old, shall I have pleasure? My Lord being old also. Of course, my Lord is basically Abraham. And this is the way wives must relate to their husbands. I know that this can be, a very tough sell because, like I pointed out, all this women empowerment issue, but God has placed, has made some order in the home, the husband, the wife, and then the children. And there has to be that kind of obedience. And if you have difficulty as a wife, you need to pray into this so that God will help you to really give that kind of respect to your husband, because it really brings a lot of blessing. And that's why Peter was writing this and encouraging people to be like Sarah so that they can also have blessings. They can see the goodness of the Lord. This is critical and is important.